This week is really busy for me. The past couple weeks have kind of been that way. I didn't even want to come today. I mean, I go to the gym every day for the sake of my mental health, but you know, to confirm with Raul today, to get here, come early, make sure I got up and got my check-ins and my cardio done beforehand, and all the to-dos that I have. It would have been really easy for me to just say, fuck it, I could just like sleep in a little bit extra today. My brain will be fresh for like whatever is laying ahead the rest of the day, but you don't always have to feel good about what you do when you're doing it. Life is not convenient, you know, like life is never going to be convenient, and the sooner that we all accept that, the easier it will be to just get up and get the shit done that you need to get done, because life is never going to be handed to you. You know, I wish for everyone watching this that life is a smooth, easy sailing thing forward, but you don't grow without any challenges. Today's video is brought to you by Dialed Moves. All of the energy that I have today is 0% from a good night's sleep and 100% from these beautiful cans. Welcome back to my channel. Yeah, life has just been really insane right now. It's a very exciting, kind of challenging time, managing several different very important things. It's kind of like holding up like pillars. I mean, juggling for sure, but like making sure that each pillar stands strong. This one cannot go here, this one cannot go here. They all have to be very level right now. So again, very exciting time of life. I feel like my capacity is expanding, which can be very overwhelming at times. When you feel overwhelmed, I truly feel like it's your higher self, your future self preparing you for whatever's next. It's exciting, but yeah, it's like at least the next 6-7 weeks are gonna be kind of crazy. And then we're still in prep, so it's not like it slows down or anything. And then also some changes in life that may be happening that are again fun and exciting, but just grow your capacity, and I'm sure a year from now will all feel easier being able to manage, but in the current season I'm in, like figuring out how to manage all these different aspects and people and personalities and tasks and to-dos and my time, it's definitely a learning opportunity. So today, despite how exhausted we are and our laundry list of to-dos, we're hitting upper body. Very important for the bikini division. My veins are already popping already. I don't know why, but upper body is something I've struggled with my whole life. When I was a gymnast, bars was my worst event because I lacked upper body strength. Beam, vault, and floor were always my best. I loved it. I think that took a lot of leg strength. Bars, no, always the lowest scores in bars. So anyway, we're starting off. I did a little bit of a warm up. I'm gonna do just a couple quick lateral raises. This is also tough for me because my traps, being a gymnast my whole life, love to overpower my shoulders. So sometimes I drop the weight. Today I'm gonna go a little bit heavier just because I feel a little bit stronger, but I'm gonna try to focus on not activating my traps and just using my delts. Something my trainer posted recently is that you should essentially pretend like you're scraping against a wall, and you'll feel it more in your delts, and I do feel that. I do feel my traps activating a little bit, so I could even drop the weight, but I think if I went to 10, it would be too light. I don't want to do that today. I've been eating a lot of food. My joke right now is that I'm eating like a linebacker. My time between sets is not great right now, but my joke lately is that I'm eating like a linebacker because my food is so high right now. We're still quite a ways away from show, so we're trying to still put some quality size on before we cut a little bit again. My body's responding really well. I feel like I nailed the reverse. My body's been very happy. My hormones are very happy. I can feel my muscles, not just visually seeing them, but I can really feel them filling out. I can feel muscles in places that I haven't felt in a really long time, which is exciting. So we're trying to capitalize on that. So I want to lift heavier. Don't want to just like throw the weight around. I think I talked about this in the last video, but I really want to be intentional with it and make sure that I'm maximizing the next couple of weeks. So I think in about 2 weeks is when we're going to start making some changes again and get right back in the real prep mode. I feel like even though I'm still in prep, I feel like I'm in, I don't want to say fun season, but it's true. I have high food right now. My coach let me have a cookie over the weekend. That's pre-workout. You know, I can be a little bit more lenient with things. I'm still laser focused though, so it just feels like less pressure because the show is a little bit further out, and I'm in a much better position now than I was the same amount of weeks out as when I started prep earlier, or I guess even late last year. So I want to be intentional right now. I want to make sure I'm lifting a little bit heavier. If I sacrifice form a little bit, that's probably fine, but if it's like, hey, I got to drop the weight to like really fix my form, then I'm willing to do that. You know, my plan is pretty boring, I'll be honest with you. I think that there is growth in the mundane, in the boring. My plan doesn't change every 2 weeks like some coaches. I've even had like my plan change once a month. Like every first of the month I got a new training plan, which I don't think makes sense. you need to really master. And even now, like I'll send something that I believe that I've mastered to my trainer, and he'll be like, hey, you're actually doing this weird thing here, or we can adjust here, and it's like it feels like a whole new exercise. So anyway, this is one of like his signature, I feel like, exercises. So we do the shoulder press. We're gonna hit like a regular set, and then the last 5 or so reps are gonna be this little pump, kind of like halfway up or so, controlling it. Woo! Yeah. And then I feel it really activated. Feel that fire, it's nice. Now you don't always have to feel like a burning sensation in the muscle for there to be growth. I know that is like, personally, I only feel like I'm making improvements if I get to that point, but it's nice when you feel it, like especially my upper body. Like I mentioned, upper body is my weak point. My shoulders are not what they should be. My traps, it only took me breaking my wrist for my traps to finally come down a little bit because I had to modify my upper body workout. So, you know, any little improvement that I can make in my upper body is a massive improvement. It might be small to others, but it's massive for me. So I'll never forget like one of the first times I brought my tripod to a commercial gym. I was in the car in my head thinking, okay, like I had a friend of mine that was doing these like exercises for rejection exposure or whatever, because it's not that big of a deal, and I think again just like frees you up personally, mentally. So anyway, I was like, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be like a practice for me, and I brought the tripod, and like literally no one gave a shit that I had my tripod. You know, like there were other people with their tripods, but I was just so in my head about it. But that is the lesson right there. It's like, how many things are you preventing yourself from doing because you are thinking, oh, someone's gonna think I look weird or like stupid or it's embarrassing. Like no one cares. Everyone is thinking about themselves the way that you're thinking about yourself. They're in the gym wondering, oh my God, do I look stupid doing this exercise? Do I look embarrassing today? Do I look fat in this outfit? What if I bring my tripod out? No one, like rarely is someone thinking, oh my God, she has her tripod, how annoying. And if they are thinking that way, the thought immediately passes and they move on with their lives. Everyone has their own set of like things going on in their lives. So reverse pec deck, I like to do single arm. I do it again later in the week and I will do it. It's on more of a back day, but since today's more of a shoulder day, I am going to do it single arm just so I can really feel it in that rear delt area and I can really control the range of motion. I don't like roll my shoulders forward too much. I don't fly it out too much. Again, if I want to like really fly, I'll do that on back day, which is later in the week, I think on Fridays. But this one I like to do. I can really just focus on, if I increase the weight, it's like one arm. I'm not spreading myself out too thin. You want to also control the range. You don't need to swing it all the way out. Frankly, even just getting it like straight out would be good. I could probably straighten that out a little bit more. And I'm pulling from that rear delt. You want to, like, if you have a program written by your coach, you want to look to see, okay, what body part am I working on today? If you are working on shoulders like I am today, there's probably an emphasis on the exercises using your shoulders, not using every other body part. Same thing with legs. I talk about this. Your leg day is not a lower back day. You do not need to be throwing weight around that you actually can't lift so that you are growing your lower back. So keep those things in mind. You know, again, this exercise could very quickly become a back exercise. And obviously it is kind of back, but my emphasis is on the shoulders right now. I'll give you another example for the row, cable row. I love to use my biceps for that. It is a lat exercise. So I've really had to learn, and I think we'll do it probably later today, I've really had to learn to pull from my lats, not pull from my bicep, not pull from my back. You want to focus on growing that lat right here. So you want to make sure, again, controlling the weight, controlling the tempo, controlling the movement so that you're not activating all these other body parts and not actually growing the body part that you want to grow. Filming yourself doing your exercise is so important. I do send my exercise videos, my top sets to my trainer. Again, shout out Corey, who's I feel like the focal point of the conversation today, but I send my videos to my trainer and he gives me feedback on them, which is great. I think recording, even for yourself, like I record almost every set now because one, my brain moves very fast. I talk very fast, I think very fast. I'm an East Coast girl through and through. I just work at a different speed. So in my head, when I was like learning tempo and everything, I would think, oh, I'm going so slow for sure. And then I watched my feedback on my video, and I'm like spending 1 second on each part of the exercise. Like, you would think I was like speed racing through my workout, which, listen, sometimes I am, because I'm running a little bit short on time in the morning before work. But, you know, watching myself, it creates an awareness. So even if you don't know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, you can at least see, does this look off to me? Or, oh wow, actually, you know, again, even if you don't even have 100% the eye for it, you could be like, you know, I felt kind of weird in that exercise, and now I can see in the video I was leaning a bit to the right or to the left or whatever. But for me, it was the speed. I was like, for sure I'm going so slow, my tempo is perfect, and I'm looking at the video like, as if I didn't have years of experience being trained as a D1 cheerleader in college, and experience, you know, in the gym at that point. So it took me probably a decade to start actually filming myself, and it created this awareness to myself and exposed me to myself. Something else I learned over the years is that your rep range is not the same as the next person. So if you start to, again, lateral raise, right? This is like my most challenging. I know it's the simplest exercise, but lateral raises are the most challenging for me because my traps will activate. I have a history of just like throwing them up and not really using my delt. So, you know, my rep range on a lateral raise might end here. Some people can go all the way up here and they still feel it in their delt. For me, I know I can feel my traps start to take over at some point. My rep range is over. Same thing on these. Like, I'm gonna come back here, I'm gonna control it on the rear delt. And as I come forward, if I start to feel the tension shift away from my rear delt and shift anywhere else, that is the end of my rep range. Unless it is like your trainer specifically or someone that knows your body, someone that's working with you specifically on your goals, I would not be like, oh yeah, I saw this person on the internet and they said I should do blah, blah, blah. Try it and see if it works for you, but there's not this trainer is saying this and this is guaranteed the right way versus this. Like, you need to learn your body. Take all these things that you're learning and apply it to your body to see what's working best for you, okay? Post-show, like my first season as an amateur, I kept thinking, I want a cheeseburger, I want carrot cake. I think I ate a whole carrot cake by myself, I'm not even kidding. And also, shout out California Pizza Kitchen, the best cheeseburger ever. They have one cheeseburger on their menu, West Coast Burger. CPK, hit me up if you want to collab sometime. I'll do a little mukbang. West Coast Burger, as is, bangin'. I for sure ate the West Coast Burger post-show, probably the whole flight of butter cake, definitely some of their appetizers, so good. And then I carried that mentality of I can do whatever onward. I don't think I have that same mindset now. I mean, it's okay to have a burger every so often. My coach will give me in and out pre-workout, right? But there's a different level of maturity. So if, and God willing, when I secure my pro card, you know, now I'm pretty simple. I'm not saying I don't ever want sweets. I love cookies. I'm a little cookie monster. But post-show, like the last 2 times I just competed, I just ate steak dinner. Steak dinner, I mean, I had one little fun side, maybe like a mac and cheese, but typically I eat steak and a baked potato if we go out to dinner, and that satisfies me. If we order dessert, and we did. My last show, I was with my family. I'm very fortunate that they came out to Ohio for me, but we ordered like probably one of every dessert, and I just had a couple bites here and there just to kind of try it. It just, again, you develop this emotional maturity where you're like, hey, I know I'm gonna feel like crap if I overeat on this stuff. It's not worth it to me. You know, food is meant to enjoy. It's not meant to like be gluttonous over. And I know coming out of the show, like your leptin levels, is it leptin? And there's another one too, I can't think of the name right now, but your levels are all kind of over the place. So you don't really know if you're hungry or not. Your brain doesn't know when to stop. But you develop that discipline and again that maturity over time. So post-show, whether or not I get my pro card, which obviously I hope that I do, my time will come whenever that may be, but I think steak dinner, maybe one fun dessert, but I'm not gonna eat the whole thing probably. Glass of wine, I love Malbec, and probably good night's sleep. That is like the biggest thing, is like, especially now that I compete in bikini, bikini goes on very last. Goes on after fit model, definitely on after wellness. You are on at the very end of the day. You're freaking tired, you're dehydrated, you haven't showered in a full day because you showered the day before you got your first layer of tan. So post-show, seriously, you just want like a gallon of water with electrolytes and a nice hot shower and rinse all the grime off. But you have glam on, and you know your friends and family are there and there's still excitement. So you just for sure want to go to dinner just for that, to take advantage of the glam. But yeah, like post-show, more rewarding than the food is the hot shower. I'm not even kidding, and the water. I am in a place in my life where I feel like I can speak to women and women empowerment. I'm an adult now that I'm 31. I've had some experiences, but also all my girlfriends, like we all obviously talk and share our internal struggles and things. And something I'm seeing so commonly now is that most women are feeling that burnout in their late 20s, early 30s. I don't have kids yet, but many of my friends do. They're already feeling like their bodies have changed and they can never get it back. They're already feeling like they've kind of lost touch with themselves a little bit because their lives got really busy. Maybe myself even, my career gets really busy. I for sure had like a little bit of an identity crisis at some point, thinking, wow, you know, I enjoy my work as an attorney, but I don't really like being defined as an attorney. Like there's so much more to me than just that I prefer to be identified as. But when you're obviously launching your career and everything, that takes like the front row of everything. So there's that. As someone who's not a mom yet, there's definitely all these conversations. When are you going to become a mom? Are you going to slow down your career when you become a mom? Don't you know that you're not going to be able to be in the gym as often when you're a mom? All these things are like old preconditioning that is very different from the modern life, modern mom, modern working woman. Like so many of my amazing female friends are figuring it out. They're juggling a lot and they definitely don't feel 100%, but they're figuring it out. And I think that is something I would like to showcase more of, that you can be, do, and have it all, but you have to choose that. If you decide to sit and wallow, then you will sit and wallow and you will continue to do so. But women are so powerful. We have this like natural light, literally life creation light inside of us that obviously it can be dimmed at times, but reconnecting with that inner light, it can really cause a powerful like super boom, not just for yourself in your personal life, but for everyone around you, for your partner, your family, your friends. Now, you can't change everyone, I'm not saying that, but when you reconnect with that divinity in you, ladies, you can inspire others to do the same. And you can, I think we talked about it earlier in the video, but like you can be the one that shows the other moms that they can still manage to have a fit, lifestyle and be healthy and make, better choices that optimize their hormones. You can still be a great mom and also set an amazing example for your child and have a really incredible career. You don't have to choose. You can choose to have it all. It's obviously going to be a challenge. Life is never easy, like we talked about earlier in this video, and life is never going to be just handed to you, but the exciting part is figuring out how to expand your own capacity and do more and customize your life the way that you want it to be. Similar to training, I think it's so important to record your posing. You're not always going to have a video, or you're not always going to have a mirror. Many coaches might even tell you to forego a mirror because you can adjust in the mirror, but when you're on stage you can't see yourself. So it's actually best to practice without one. Most of my check-in videos, actually all of my check-in videos, don't have a mirror. So, it's nice. I always have my camera going. It's nice when I'm on here to make the adjustments and I can see it on the camera. Or I might even say out loud, okay, I'm adjusting this. That way when I go back and I listen to it, I can remember, okay, I made this adjustment and this is what it looked like when I did that. Just as like a way for me to kind of keep audio notes. And then as your body changes and you're making improvements in your posing and then also in your physique, you kind of know, okay, like this is what works for me, what doesn't. But you're not always gonna have this. So I think as far as like speed, flow, everything like that, record yourself as often as possible. I mean, there's been times where I was like, wow, that felt really great. I had really good flow in that. And then I look back at the video and I rushed through it. I barely even hit my poses before I started moving on. And I've done that on stage too. Not even for nerves, but the music that I listen to when I am posing, practicing is a little bit slower. It kind of like gets me in the vibe of like, I don't know, like feminine, like energy. That's what I like to like tap into when I'm posing, because bodybuilding is very like iron and grit, and then posing you have to bring out that like feminine side of you. So I like to listen to that. But the show day music is like usually high tempo, high beat pop music, so you might want to practice to that as well. Something also important is to literally surround yourself with psychopaths in the best way, people that are so committed to their own success and invested in your success. Having the right team, for me, I have my prep coach who handles my supplementation, my nutrition. I have my trainer handles my training program and any changes in that regard. My posing coach, love her, she's out in Brazil. I actually need to start classes with her again soon. You really should not take any time off from posing. The only reason I've been not seeing her weekly or bi-weekly is because there's a time change in Brazil. I think they're 5 hours ahead of us, and with the schedule that I currently have with all the wedding and everything, I have just taken a couple weeks to kind of reset, you know, which is beneficial too. She has other clients, but I also have a vacuum coach to help me bring my waist in. My vacuum coach is also 3 hours ahead on Eastern Standard Time. She's in Canada. So, you know, I obviously like to be busy. I like to spread myself thin. I feel my best when I do that. But I just think the more eyes that you have on yourself, and people that again are as psychotic about pursuing success as you are, the better. Iron really does sharpen iron, and if you surround your people with champion mindset, you can't help but have a champion mindset. If you surround yourself with people that are so committed to cutting out any excuses, to just cutting out the noise, cutting out the BS, and just are so focused on getting to their goals, you will also have no choice but to be that person, because you're just surrounded by people that are not letting you wallow in self-pity, making excuses, saying, oh yeah, like you can just take a day off here, you can just do this, you can. No, if you have people in your life with higher standards, you're gonna feel like a piece of crap if you also don't raise your standards. So who you surround yourself with is probably the most important thing. Your inner circle, whether it's your friends or your mentors or people that you just allow to speak into your life, those people are so important. You better guard that circle with your life. Yeah, last week, it felt more challenging than normal, or than on average, I would say, just because of all of the areas that I'm trying to give 100% to. It's hard to give 100% to yourself. Going back to women, if you're a mom, if you're pursuing a career, if you're working on your household, it's hard to spread yourself so thin. For me right now, obviously, prep, career, family, personal tasks, personal goals, it seems like a lot right now. I'm grateful for the experience that I have in pursuing all these things, but it's, as someone who's kind of a perfectionist, it is, yeah, like, if I fall short in one, or I feel like I'm falling short in one, I can be really hard on myself and mean to myself. And again, it can be very, I said this earlier, it can be easy to say, oh, I'm just going to take one extra rest day, or I'll sleep an extra hour in the morning so I'm more fresh, so I can be more 100% here, but then I fall back on the gym or whatever. But you just have to know that every week you're not going to be inspired. Every week is not going to be perfect. Every week is not going to feel like you are giving 100%, but if you give what you can that week, even though it might not be 100% of your actual capacity, for you 100% on that day, if you give that, is a huge win. And then frankly, weeks that look like, you know, you giving 100% and that meaning something different week by week or category by category, over time it adds up. It really compounds into that greater, okay, like this bigger pot that I've been giving all of my energy into. Even though it didn't look perfect along the way, it's built all this extra stuff. I know come wedding time, we know we're less than a month and a half out, so it is coming very fast. I'm trying to enjoy the process of that because that is going to come and go. It's going to be a very fun time. I'm very excited. You know, I just started getting my dress altered. I waited a little bit because of the show that I did, so I had to wait for my body to normalize a little bit. My fiance got his tux. We're in an exciting time, so I am trying to like ride the excitement of that too, because that's not something that, you know, we'll ever go back to again. So we're gonna just make the most out of that. It'll be a fun party and have the memories and everything, but then right after that, 9 weeks out from my show. So it's like we are not missing a beat. Can't really afford to miss a beat going into it, obviously. Prep-wise, wedding-wise, career-wise, I never slow down there ever. And then, you know, every season prepares you for the next. The thing always prepares you for the thing, or leads you to the thing. So, you know, again, every week is gonna look maybe messy. It's gonna feel messy, but on the other side of it, it's gonna be like, holy crap, I did it. Once I get to show, that's the fun part about prep, is like, sometimes you get wrapped up in the details, and sometimes you're like, I just gotta check these boxes. Still checking those boxes is adding, compounding energy and effort, and you will just arrive on show day and you'll be like, holy crap, I checked all my boxes.
regardless of the placement, I did what I could. I feel good about it. And that's what happened in my last show. I did everything that I could going into that show. I left no stone unturned. I did not miss cardio. I did not miss my steps. I did not miss 1 gram of rice or chicken. I gave it my all. You know, ultimately I did show up flat on show day. We can get into that another time, but ultimately I felt like I produced my best. My body wasn't 100% responsive on show day, but that's what I want to give to all these other things in my life. My career, I always have to be on for. That's a non-negotiable. The wedding, again, less than a month and a half out. So as long as I just keep giving, it's all going to be, I arrive on wedding day and just can enjoy it and have fun. Same thing with my show 9 weeks later. But yeah, it can be, I don't want to keep saying challenging, but it can definitely feel like a lot and it can cause burnout. So something that I talk about often on my Instagram is that I sleep maybe 5 hours, 6 hours on average, but once a week I am committed to trying to sleep 10 or 11 hours in one night. Definitely not always 2 nights. If I could do it 2 nights, that would be great, but Friday nights into Saturday or Saturday into Sunday, if I do too much, if I do 2 nights too much, then I won't be able to sleep the following next week. But I just know myself, and for me, when I start to feel burnt out, I have to crash. I have to really give myself that grace to just rest and relax and recharge my batteries to be able to go for the next run. Some seasons are not always the most glamorous. They just challenge your capacity and challenge whether you're going to stay consistent to yourself. You don't have to feel 100% to keep your word to yourself. You just have to keep doing. Just keep moving. Just keep moving and you'll get to the finish line eventually. Thanks for tuning in to my upper body day. I'm looking forward to keeping you guys updated along the way as to all of the exciting things that I have going on and bring you along for that journey with me. But if I can impart any wisdom on you today, let it be that you really can be, do, and have it all, despite how challenging it might feel, despite your limits feeling pushed every single day. You can create the life that you want. It's just a matter of breaking it down to the micro decisions that you choose every single day.